Hi everyone, today I covered the Moscow variation of the Semi Slav, and now I'm going to play a training game against the patron in the same variation. As I said, I'm going to try to play patrons in every theoretical variation I record. It might not be possible every time because I don't have enough time or because I couldn't arrange a game, but as often as possible. In this game, I'm going to be white. Meruzhan wanted to be black in the Moscow Semi Slav. I have to say that I want to be black as well. I've played the Moscow with black 200 times. I've never played it with white. So I have a lot more experience with the black pieces here. He said he's ready. Let's just wait for him to accept. The Moscow variation is sort of a slow way for white to play after bishop g5. Bishop g5 is the most aggressive move in the Semi-Slav, much more aggressive than e3. And after bishop g5, once h6 comes, usually if you want a very aggressive game, you should continue with the move bishop h4. So we are starting from the position after d4, d5, c4, c6, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3, e6, and then we are going to enter the Moscow. So the last two videos have been on the Meruzhan and the anti-Meruzhan. Today I went over the Moscow. Tomorrow I'm going to go over the anti-Moscow, and you're going to see the huge difference between the two variations. So after the move bishop g5 as opposed to e3, white now has a choice of playing a positional game or a very aggressive game. Taking on f6 is the Moscow variation, which is not as aggressive, and going back to h4, as we are going to see tomorrow, is the most aggressive Semi-Slav there is. So as we are playing the Moscow, I'm going to take, and we are starting from this position. I've never had the white side here. So e3 is the best and the most common move. a3 can be played. I've faced a3. Queen b3 is the most annoying move in my opinion. g3 is also a good move. So g3 or queen b3, I don't know. If queen b3, he can go knight d7. He can take on c4. He can also just retreat the queen back to d8. I'm going to play queen b3. I like that variation. Now let's see. There's one variation which I don't like, which starts with a5. And after white is then going to play e4 and black is going to play a4. And that's what I play with black against the Moscow queen b3. So it would be fun to play against that, because I've always found a5, a4 to be better for black. Even though it's a pawn sacrifice, you activate a rook. And if white ever takes, then e4 is of course ampli. So if white wants to capture the a4 pawn, he shouldn't be playing e4. And if after a5, e4, a4, queen c2 is played, then black is just better. The move queen b3 then made absolutely no sense. And yeah, okay, he takes. So queen takes. Yeah, this is not a good move. Knight d7 is the main move. This is a very weakening move. But as with every move, you have to know how to punish it. Thinking on move, what is this, after we've started playing move 2. So obviously I'm looking at knight b5. Knight b5, c b5, queen b5 check. He has knight d7, which is annoying. If he only had bishop d7, then queen b7 would be a very good move. But knight d7 sort of kills my attack, and I think the piece sack is unsound. So if I'm not going to give up a piece, that means that he has potential to play the move b4, in which case I have to go knight e4. So where does my queen want to be? Probably on d3, but then I'm taking away a square from my bishop. So yeah, this is a bad move, but I've never seen it and I don't know why. Okay, since he took on c4, I can play e4 unopposed. Maybe I want to keep my queen on the long diagonal, maybe, to make sure I don't take away the d3 square from my bishop. And maybe my knight doesn't go to e4, but I'm not sure. I think my knight does want to go to e4 and then to c5. So, okay, I'm going to play queen b3. Queen d3, I'm sorry. I don't think e5 works for bishop f5 because I can just play e4 and take this pawn and then play e4. b4 I'm also not afraid of. That seems like a very weakening move. Just knight e4, gaining a tempo on the queen, and then probably knight c5. I think b5 is very strange in the queen b3 Moscow. But then who am I to speak? Meruzhan beat me last time we played. I blundered the bishop. And okay, knight d7 now, that makes sense. So e4. And then if b4, I'm going to play e5. If e4, e5, I can go d5. So e4. e4 is the move to play here, definitely. In the Moscow, as white, you want to play e4. If you can, you need to play it. It's almost never a mistake. e5, d5, if d5, b4, dc, b takes c3, and then I can take with check on d7, bishop takes d7, b takes c3, and I'm a pawn up. Once he captures on d7. So yeah, this should now be a huge opening success for me. He can play c5, but not for the moment, because his b pawn is hanging. If he plays b4 first, I'm going to play e5, queen e7 or queen d8, and then knight e4, stopping c5 for the moment. Okay. Okay, definitely e5. I don't have to think about that. If he goes queen f5, I'm just going to play knight e4. I don't want to trade the queens off. The d6 square is far too weak. Yeah, this now has to be perfect for me. I don't even care about c5. He can just play c5 and play c4 and take on d5. I'm just going to develop my pieces. If he doesn't play c5, I'm going to play rook c1. I have this pawn on e5, which is incredible. This means that black messed something up. This has to be too slow. This has to be too slow, because now I can get in rook c1, and if he goes rook c8, rook c1, rook c8, knight here, and I make sure his bishop is dead. So rook c1, rook c8, knight c5, knight c5, yeah, and my queen is not hanging, so I can take with the pawn. So dc5, queen takes queen, bishop takes queen, and I'm playing against his horrible b7 bishop. That should be much better for me. So I'm just going to go for that. I don't mind the queen exchange if his bishop doesn't have any squares, and I'm going to be playing against the bad Semi Slav bishop. So I think he should have played c5 immediately, liberating his bishop. This now is strategically lost for black because he's down a piece. The b7 bishop is never getting out. Unless he sacrifices a pawn now with c5, which I'm not sure should be done. c5 here, I'm just going to take with the pawn, and then if he plays rook c8, I'm going to play knight d6 check. I could play knight d6 check anyway, trading off his dark squared bishop and weakening c5. But yeah, his b7 bishop is dead, and this is exactly, well, I guess it's good that this happened. The Moscow variation is positional, and the main plan for black is g6, bishop g7. This is just not a good square for the bishop, because it doesn't have any available squares. So I'm wondering about knight c5 now, but he's not threatening to play the move c5, so I should probably just castle. Whenever he plays rook c8, I'm going to play knight c5. He could try a5, that I missed. Well, that was stupid. a5 is a good move here. I missed a5. So a5, bishop a6, threatening my queen, and then I have to exchange my good bishop for his bad bishop. So I have to do something about that now. Oh, but then his pawn is hanging. So I can just castle, and if a5, I can play queen d2, bishop a6, rook takes, pawn. Okay. Okay, it's working, but I missed a5, bishop a6, which is not a good idea. So now if he plays a5, I'm just going to play queen d2 and be happy. I might also play queen e3 just to get my queen off the d file, to make sure when knight c5 happens I don't have to trade the queens off. This pawn is a thorn in his position. I obviously want to do this and checkmate. I might do that actually, but I don't think I have enough time. So a5. Okay, he doesn't see it. That's good. Is he now threatening d5, c5? c5. Pawn takes. Yeah, he has too many defenders. I need to stop that from happening. Knight c5 was the plan all along. If he takes, my queen is defended on d3, and then he doesn't have a square for his bishop. So I'm playing against this piece. That's the only plan here. I'm playing against one bad piece. Now where does my bishop want to go? I have to keep it on the diagonal because I have to stop bishop a6, but do I want it on e2 or on c4? I think I want it on c4. But then I lose c5, but then I can take on e6, but then he takes on f2 with check, rook f2, and then he takes my bishop with the f-pawn, so I have to go to e2. Which is unfortunate. Oh wait, does he then have rook d5? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, he doesn't have rook d5. Because I can play rook d7. Well, but I missed this. This is not good. So, I missed rook d5, so I might have to play bishop e4. Bishop e4, bishop a6. Yeah. Bishop e4, bishop a6. Rook d1, rook takes. And I should have the d file. That's just not good. That's not good. Because then my c5 pawn is also hanging. I messed this up. I completely missed rook d5. Okay, if bishop e2, rook d5, my pawn is double attacked. I can then... Yeah, but I don't have rook d7, because if rook d1, he's just going to take my rook. And rook takes, bishop takes c5, and then I go rook d7. He can just defend with rook b8, which is passive, but is defending. So I may just have to play bishop e4, and probably black is better here. Well, okay, yeah, I missed this. I missed rook d5, I have to stop it. Now I don't have a way to contest the d file, because I cannot leave my c pawn. So if bishop a6, I have to play rook e1. Luckily for me, he doesn't have any entry squares for his rooks, because everything is defended, but I'm not happy. I misplayed this position. I was counting on the fact that this move knight c5 is going to give me enough because of his dead piece, but I completely missed rook d5. Well, my knight is still better than his dark squared bishop. My light squared bishop is still better than his. So I shouldn't really despair, but I'm, yeah, definitely misplayed. I have to play rook e1. I'm playing against two bad bishops, but what do I do after rook b8, rook b5? I have no idea. Well, I can take on c6. Okay, that's one idea. But if he plays rook c7, rook b8, rook b5, I should be losing a pawn. He wants to trade off my bishop. That's interesting. And that's a good move. Okay. What I really want to do is play knight d2, knight takes bishop, and play knight d6. If I can get my knight into d6, my position is just perfect. So I'm wondering if I should do it and lose this pawn in the process. Is that worth it? He's really playing well. His rating is low, but he's playing extremely well. This move is very good. Bishop takes bishop, rook takes bishop, rook e4, rook d5, rook takes b4, bishop takes c5, rook b7. Knight d2, bishop b1, bishop takes bishop, rook takes knight. He's on my second rank. That's not good. And I don't have a way to defend. Knight d2, bishop b1, knight c4, bishop c5. That might work. Knight d2, bishop b1, knight c4, bishop c5 is impossible because of bishop b1. But knight d2, what if bishop takes bishop, knight takes bishop, rook d5, knight d6, and knight d2, what if bishop b5 or bishop a6, then knight c4, bishop c5. It's not good. I'm losing my c5 pawn. So if knight d2, he just has to retreat the bishop. But have I then made progress? I can then probably reroute my knight to b3 and defend c5. So knight d2, if he retreats the bishop, I can then play knight b3. If he plays bishop b1, I can go knight c4. If he takes my bishop, I take the bishop. So I'm thinking knight d2 has to be a very good move here. Am I missing something? Knight d2, bishop b5, knight b3, defending my pawn. And then I can contest the d file finally. Okay, I'm going to do that. I don't think I've missed anything. Yeah, I've missed that. Jeez. And my back rank is weak. Yeah, this is a lost game. So if I go rook cd1, rook cd1, rook c to d1, if he goes bishop c2, I can take the bishop, and then bishop takes knight, and then I can move my rook. If I go rook cd1 and he takes my bishop, I can take with the knight, but if I go rook cd1 and he takes my knight and I take the bishop and he takes on e4, I cannot take on e4 because I lose my rook, and I cannot take on d8 first because my back rank is weak. But if I play f4, my back rank is not weak. He's playing incredibly well, have to say that. Rook cd1. Bishop takes knight, rook takes bishop, bishop takes e4, rook takes d8, rook takes d8, rook takes e4, checkmate. But if I play f4, sacrificing a pawn, then I can play rook c to d1, and I'm not hanging mate at least. Yeah, so I have to do that. I have to play f4. Otherwise, I'm losing a piece and getting checkmated. I'm getting crushed. And badly. I'm low on time and my position is completely lost. What's he thinking about after f4? Yeah, sorry about this bad game. So anyway, I have a league game tomorrow. So I'm not, and Sunday is my day off usually, but tomorrow I'm going to record a game in the Road to GM series. And yeah, this is why I couldn't go for this variation before, because my king was getting checkmated. So, and now I will be a pawn down in a rook ending, which I may be able to draw. I'm not sure. It's just a horrible position. So what now? He's going to take one of the pawns. That's just bad. Just rook d5. And I don't know. I don't know. I have to try and swindle him. This is just a lost game. Yeah, game over. I don't know. How do I try to hold this? I don't think I can. Good job, Meruzhan. One more victory. That's very surprising. I've never lost 2 games against somebody rated 1700. So I'm having bad luck when playing against you. Or I'm just playing like an idiot when I play against you. Great job once again. I'm not going to resign because fighting in rook ending is always fun and there are always chances, but it's definitely all over. Knight c5 was a losing move, which is incredible. I never would have expected that. Knight c5 was so losing that I don't think I had a chance after that move. So either losing my pawn or just... Yeah, and he's playing great. This is just amazing. His technique is incredible. Definitely not a 1700 player. Definitely not. Yeah. Basically, the way to draw this is to try and win the c-pawn. If I allow his king to come in, then I'll just be losing. So, but there's no way to stop his king from coming into b6. I can probably try this. Getting around. And if he plays rook d7, I'm going to play king c4. Stopping king b5. I'm trying to build a fortress where he isn't able to break through. It's not easy, but it's possible. Sometimes rook endings are a draw, even 2 pawns down. I'm going to try to fight until the end. I'm not going to go down without a fight, definitely. And this is sort of instructive. I think it's dead lost, but... And black has far too much time to mess this up. But in a blitz game, this could be a draw. I also want to get the move a4 in. Yeah, so he plays a4, which is correct. So now if I go rook f4, rook here, takes, pawn takes, I think I should be drawing this position. If I can win the c6 pawn, I think it's a draw. Although I'm not sure. I could be just wrong. But we will see. Oh yeah, I'm just wrong. It's not a draw, it's dead lost. Why don't I take more time? Yeah, it's losing because I don't have enough time to catch his pawn. And I thought that after takes, king here, if I play a5, h5, then I'm stopping his pawns from breaking through, but that's not really the case. Because he can play h5 first and just win. If I had played h5 already, then probably a draw. Yeah, I just played a horrible game. h5. h5, game over. Oh, okay. Now this is a draw. I think. Yeah, because if he plays that, I'm just going to ignore it, and he doesn't have a pawn to break through with. So g4. If I take, then it's losing because he has a passed pawn. That's true. But if I just play g4, I don't think he could break through. Okay, yeah. Oh, but he gets the opposition in. Okay, yeah, good job. I missed that. Yeah. So what I can try to do is win his a4 pawn when he goes here. But I don't even have enough time for that because he's just faster. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Yeah, it's lost. I mean, oh, that's a very good move. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and resign. Good game. Okay. This was very well played by Meruzhan. A really good game. Let's see what I did wrong. Okay, let's go to the starting position. Queen f6, queen b3. Yeah, I'm wondering about b5. Yeah, it worked. Why? I was looking at knight b5 and they didn't have enough courage to take. So let's see. So if pawn takes... Oh my god, I just take the bishop. Ugh. I'm so blind. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Rook c1, white is slightly better. Bishop e7, bishop e2 is correct. Castles is correct. Castles is correct. Rook c8. Now knight c5 is a blunder. Yeah, okay. Knight c5 is a blunder, definitely, because knight c5, dc5, queen d3, bishop d3, rook fd8 is correct, bishop e4 is correct, bishop a6, rook fe1 is correct, and now bishop d3, a great move, knight d2 a blunder, and bishop g5 winning. Yeah, f4 was the only move, but it was not enough. Yeah. Let me just see if I had a chance to draw this ending at all. No, I guess not. Yeah. Well, Meruzhan played a game with 2 inaccuracies, which is, yeah, that's just incredible. A great game, Meruzhan, I have to say. Great game. Okay, sorry about the bad game, guys. I hope you liked it anyway. Hope you managed to learn how not to misjudge a position. Knight c5 was just a bad move. Great job, Meruzhan. So far, Meruzhan is the only subscriber, the only patron, I'm sorry, who managed to defeat me, and he did that twice in a row. So good job, and I am going to want a rematch. And yeah, hope you liked the video. Stay tuned for more chess. I have to analyze this game in depth. A defeat to learn from. So anyway, a league game tomorrow, Road to GM video coming up tomorrow, and yeah, see you then. Bye bye.